think we'll just do a quick audio check here. All the dials and the buttons look like they are working perfectly today. So this is your sound check. I am following along tonight on Espresso Shots Live. If you want to chat with me, I will follow that line of comments. As for the other channels, they are wide open. Nobody moderating tonight, just me. I'm gonna shut my phone down here. Um, yeah, we got a great show for you. 2022, first show of the year. Got some exciting stuff coming up this year. So hang tight, and maybe somebody could just give me a thumbs up if the audio is, if they're digging the audio sound. Seems like it's at a good level to me, but then again, I'm not in your seat. I'm in my seat. So let me know. I see my lovely wife is tuned in upstairs, so maybe she would just give me a thumbs up on the audio level. Right there. This is my speaking voice for tonight. I should mention as well, we are broadcasting tonight to Espresso Shots Live, the Cottage Coffee House, Jake by the Lake, and What's on Westport on Facebook. You can also watch us on YouTube, on Twitch, and if you're so inclined, you can watch us on Vimeo as well. Um, that's enough options for you. Just thought I'd run that by you. So there are a handful of ways to watch us. If you are commenting, we may not be following along on that particular stream, but if you do want to engage with us, slide on over to the Espresso Shot Live Facebook page, and that's what I'll be following tonight. So Well, welcome to Expressions Live season. I don't even know what season this is. I think it's season 4, but it is 2022. And welcome to 2022. And welcome to Express Shots Live. Having myself a little bit of half and half tonight. Half calf. Crazy times. Like I said, if you didn't listen to me in my little sound check, just so you know, I am following tonight myself on Espresso Shots Live Facebook page. We are broadcasting to 3 other Facebook pages as well, along with YouTube and Twitch and Vimeo. So if you're following on one of those formats, might not be anybody responding to you, but if you want to interact, slide on over to Espresso Shots Live, and I'd be glad to kind of keep up with you. See, we got a few people following us tonight, so welcome back. Took a little bit of a break. Needed a bit of a break. Just couldn't find anything to talk about other than COVID. And boy, am I tired of talking about that and thinking about that. But let's get that off. Let's get COVID off the plate right now. Talk about it quickly, and then I'm done with that. So all I've got to say is, what a shit show it has been. And I'm not sure who is to blame here at this point. Is it the government's fault? Is it the health professionals that are they at fault? Are we at fault? Is it just one big cloud of whatever that makes that perfect storm that just seems to make this variant so hard to catch a hold of and get a handle on it? Now, luckily, people aren't getting as sick as they were in the variants before, so that's a good thing. But nonetheless, the healthcare system is getting backed up, and if you've not gotten a vaccination yet, I believe at this point it's probably just come down to being stubborn. It's like, I didn't want to get it, and now I can't get it because I want to stand my ground. Well, soldier, it's time to step on up, get your jab, get your booster. Let's get through this together so we can start seeing people's smiles again in public. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about COVID. And hopefully nobody out there is suffering from COVID. And if you are, if you're locked down, well, enjoy tonight's show. So what's going on here in the village? Well, if you notice behind me, I have this flannel backdrop. And I'll tell you why we have this flannel backdrop. We have a new segment being added to the show beginning next week. And maybe I'll just spin that clip to give you an idea of what it's about. And then we'll come back and talk a little bit about how that's all going to work. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's give you guys a chance to tell me what is in your cup. Okay, as I said, from the Cottage Coffee House, in a beautiful Life is Good mug available here. I don't know if this one is here, but mugs like this are available here at Jake by the Lake at the Life is Good shop here in the village of Westport. I have half 49 parallel blue sky and half decaf, half and half. That's kind of been my go-to. Cynthia's upstairs drinking straight up Holiday Espresso, which is a light roast, which is like a double kick of caffeine. She can handle it. I cannot. I tend to get a bit wound up. So I see Heather's joined us from Slab Tab. Fred's having some salty water. That's good. Make sure you put an ice cube in that salty water. What's this here? Rosé. Hey, it's a good night for a rosé. It's yeah, rosé is I guess it's you could drink it this time of year. You can drink it wherever you want, right? I'm more of a red guy, but I don't mind a rosé once in a while. But normally, if I'm having rosé, it's because I'm mixing white and red together, and I'm left with a rosé. Just gonna bear with me. I'm gonna pull that back up. So yes, back to flannel panel. So let's spin this little clip and give you guys a feel for what we are up to here, beginning next week. So there you go. We've put together a group of professionals, experts in their fields, if you will, and we are going to have them join us every week for 10 minutes and to do a show called The Flannel Panel, where it's a working man's show, and we'll have one topic, and all the panelists will talk on that topic and give their opinions and their thoughts and their insights and their feedback. So you won't want to miss out on this one. Our first one will be starting next Wednesday. Will be the first 10-minute-ish episode of the Flannel Panel, where we have a panel of 3 people, and guess what? They'll all be wearing flannel because that's the hook, the flannel panel. So pretty excited about that. And each week we'll have a new topic, and those topics will kind of come from what's happening on our social media pages. So if you have a topic that you want to talk about that's relevant, we'll put it out there and we'll use your topic if we're searching for some topics. So send us a message. Let us know what you'd like us to talk about on the Flannel Panel. And if you want to join us and you think you've got what it takes to be a flannelist, send me a message and I could probably find a spot for you on one of our episodes. So looking forward to next week. Should be a lot of fun. In the village of Westport, I'm not sure where you guys are tonight, but it is cool. Not as cold today as it was yesterday, but it's still pretty cool. One nice thing about it being cold is behind the cove, a group of people have gotten together and shoveled off a rink. And actually, they've shoveled off 2 rinks and a little path in between, so people can get out there and skate around. And it's so awesome. You know, for years and years, I hear businesses and people saying, we got to get together, have a winter festival, clear off the ice, we'll go skating, we'll do all that stuff. And it just never seems to happen because nobody seems to have the time. But right now, last Saturday, there was about 30 people down there skating on that rink and having a great old time. And, you know, that's one good thing about COVID. It's brought us back to that time where there wasn't as many options of things to do. Like, you know, maybe you're binge watching a show on the weekend, or you're doing something else. But you know, in the old days, if you wanted to go see a movie, you bought a ticket, you went to the movie, and that was it. That was your entertainment for the week, the month, hey, maybe the year. But it's great to see people down there using that pond safely, and you know, they've got it far enough away from where the water is going through there, so I think it's good. But let's not give away the weather here. Let's see if we can find out what Happy McSunny thinks about the weather here in the Village of Westport. Happy, are you there?
Wednesday evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Happy McSunny, and I'm reporting to you live from the Westport and the Rideau Lakes area. Wow, it's been quite the weather week. We've gone from minus 25 up to plus 1. Tomorrow we're going to see the temperatures dip a little bit again, minus 8, and a chance of snow on Friday. Then we're going to see the temperatures drop again to minus 25 for the weekend, but we're going to have lots of sunshine. So get yourself dressed up, stay nice and warm, get out and enjoy some of this, what Mother Nature's brought you. Back to you in the studio, John.
Wise words by Happy McSunny. Thanks, Happy, for the great forecast. We've all missed you. It's been cold. Somebody told me you'd gone away somewhere warm during the holidays, so I don't know if that's true or not, but I heard you were away somewhere warm. But you're back now, so welcome back to the show. Happy McSunny. Let's give a round of applause for Happy McSunny. He's glad to have him on the team. Glad to have that person on the team. All right. So, what else can we talk about here, Liz? The reason I've had a hard time doing a show in the month of December was just everything that came across my Facebook feed or my desk or anything was just a lot of negativity, just a lot of not fun stuff, and I didn't want to cover it. I didn't want to add to more negativity on social media than needed to be. I'll try to keep that to myself in my back room where I'm bitching and complaining to myself. Hopefully not to my family too much. But anyway, that's why we haven't done the show. So man, congratulations to Robin Jones. Shout out if you're watching, Robin. I'm glad that you picked up on the hopefully that you picked up on the segment from the show where I recommended that we do or you guys do a quick highlight reel of what's going on, and I think that's helpful. I've watched a few because again, no insults intended here, but those meetings are pretty dry to watch. And so I watched one a few weeks back, and I thought, I think I can make something drier than a Westport Council meeting. So I put my head to work, got my pen and paper out, and I thought, okay, John, what do we got? What can we do? What could be drier than a Westport Council meeting, a full meeting to watch the whole thing? And this is what I've come up with. And this is a segment that I will be adding in as well. And it's a dry segment. Well, let's just do it. Welcome to Bread Clips, a show about bread. Soft bread, hard bread, French baguettes, sourdough bread, raisin bread, buns, bagels, everything bready. If you're gluten-free, this part of the show you may want to tune out of because we will be exposing bread. So get yourself bready. All right, there you have it. Bread Clips. Weekly Bread Clips will be brought to you on Espresso Shots Live. It is the driest thing I can think of, but we'll bring you some really nice pictures, some nice clips of bread over the next few weeks. So stay tuned for that. I think I'll play that again because I see some people that have just tuned in, and I hate to think that they missed that because I just think it's such a star of the show here. Where are we? We're in media. We're right here, right? Welcome to Bread Clips, a show about bread. Soft bread, hard bread, French baguettes, sourdough bread, raisin bread, buns, bagels, everything bready. If you're gluten-free, this part of the show you may want to tune out of because we will be exposing bread. So get yourself bready. Awesome. What a great segment that is going to be. Looking forward to more of those as we roll along into 2022. Dry. And speaking of dry, guess what's coming up? Dry February. When you get to be a blue-colored character, either a box, a star, or a triangular shape, and not drink for the month of February. So I did it last year, and I will do it again. So February, Dry February. Challenge anybody out there to join me, or not challenge you, but encourage you to join along and find something else to drink in the month of February. So Dry February, and we will be playing those dry bread clip segments to go along with them. But the flannel panel is going to be the show you want to tune into. I think this is going to be a hot one. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm so excited about it. Oh, yes. So I guess I should maybe give some backdrop to that piece of bread that was going in and out. That bread recipe was given to me by a guy named Burke years ago when I worked in another job. And it was an award-winning bread recipe that his mother had given him. And he'd won many ribbons and prizes with his bread. So that is, I call it Berkey's bread. So Berkey's bread. So if anybody does want a really good recipe of bread, I'm more than happy to share that recipe with you because Berkey shared it with me years and years ago. So that's the backstory to, and thanks for mentioning that, Cynthia, because I would have totally forgot to talk about the bread, because I guess that's the important part of it too. What about the bread? What is the dumbest thing you've done yet in 2022? I know we're only a couple weeks in, but what is the dumbest thing you've done yet? For me, it's probably the bread clip segment that I worked on. But what is the dumbest thing you've done? I slipped. It's not dumb, but klutzy of me. I slipped twice walking to the cafe the other day, last week. I couldn't really tell the sidewalks were slippery, and I kind of went out. I didn't fall and hurt myself. My foot went out. People were kind of watching as I drove by, so I kind of like corrected myself. I was like, "Oh, not a big deal. I got this. Don't worry about me." Acted all cool as I walk away. Not another 20 steps, and down I go, right on the ground, right in the snow. I landed on my side. And I didn't get hurt, but that was the dumbest thing I've done yet in 2022. So anybody else top that? Anybody else anything stupider than that? It's nothing worse than falling when people are looking at you and you're trying to act like it's not a big deal. Even if you've fallen, you cracked your head open, there's blood everywhere, you've broken your arm, you fractured your ankle. It's like, oh, I'm fine, don't worry about it. You're limping away. As soon as you get home, it's like, oh my God, that hurt. But luckily, we have a local chiropractor here in town. So if you do happen to slip and twist yourself around a bit, you can pop on over to see Sean right in the plaza beside the LCBO and beside the Cottage Coffee House. And the Cottage Coffee House is currently closed, but we will be starting up next Friday with our Fajita Fridays. So if you need a bit of information about that, you can slide on over to the Facebook page for the Cottage Coffee House. And we're doing fajitas from 3 p.m. until, I think, 7, 4 hours. And the first round, we've got quite a few already taken up, but there are some spots still available. Earlier spots, I believe. We have some 4 o'clock spots and a couple later ones. So if you want to get in on the first round of Fajita Fridays, send me a message or just pop on the page and message us that way. And this year we've added in a dessert. So the lovely Mrs. Cynthia will be making a Mexican-style dessert to go along with your fajitas. And I'll tell you this next week, the first one will be a lime mini pie made with fresh limes. So what a great Friday, man. Big feast of fajitas. Grab yourself a margarita or maybe a Corona, or maybe you're nothing. Maybe you just want to have something else. Chow down. There's a lot of food for one person. There's enough food that you can make yourself a Mexican omelet in the morning for yourself, guaranteed. And then you'll have a great dessert as well. Great times to be had. All you need to do is order Fajita Fridays, brought to you by the Cottage Coffee House here in downtown Westport, starting on the 21st of January. As to when will we reopen, not sure yet. Not planning on any pop-ups. We are doing Fajita Fridays for 6 weeks, so we'll do those for 2 weeks in January, and then the balance of February we'll do Fajita Fridays, so you can get in on that. But other than that, no pop-ups planned. We're just really playing it by ear as to when we get back to it. I'd like to get back at it by March, and I'm hoping that's the plan. Again, I can't tell you much more than that because I don't know. Things change daily. Speaking about changing daily, back to school on Monday. So I know my youngest son is happy to be heading back. Do you guys have anybody in your homes that are heading back to school, or maybe grandchildren that are heading back to school? And how are you feeling about the whole thing? Are you worried, concerned, or is it just another day? Anyway, I think it's good that they're getting back. This lockdown has lasted long enough. And again, if you haven't gotten vaccinated yet, get your ass down to the pharmacy and get a shot. Enough already. And if you're an anti-vaxxer watching the show, you're not going to get much sympathy from me or anybody in my household. It's just something that's been dragging on way too long. It's like those Boxing Day sales that used to drag on until March, April. Boxing Day sales, March 25th. That's too long for a Boxing Day sale, and this is too long for a pandemic. So let's put an end to this thing. Hey, check this out, man. I just saw this before I came on the air. Can you imagine this? There's been reports of fake toonies in Hawkesbury. Can you imagine? It must cost more than $2 to make one of these things. But on one side, if you look at the top, it has a walrus on it. And the bottom looks like maybe Mr. Rogers or Mr. Dressup rather than the Queen. Instead of a 2, it's got a Z, and it's called Z Dollars. So this store in Hawkesbury, Ontario, had some there, and they reported them, and so there we go. We have counterfeit toonies. You've got a lot of time on your hands when you want to make counterfeit toonies, because they gotta cost $1 or $2 to make, man. I don't know, but good for the OPP for getting on that, breaking up that crime spree, and getting those toonies. So I would say if you get one of these toonies, you may want to keep it. It's probably worth more as a collector's item than it would be to turn it back into the OPP. But I'm not recommending that, because you're supposed to turn them into the OPP if you have them, or at least report them. So, crazy times. What else do we have tonight to chat about? Let me take a gander here. Ooh, yeah. Oh, I guess I should. This show is really. It's humorous, meant to be humorous, meant to be lighthearted. Every now and then we will touch on some topics that are maybe a bit touchy, but we try to do that from time to time. We try to balance it out a little bit, keep it easy. But I always feel that I should play a disclaimer, because sometimes people take the show a little bit too serious. So I'm just going to play a quick disclaimer, letting you know that this is entertainment, not news.
Howdy, Westport. Casey Ferguson from The Casey Ferguson Show here. You are watching Espresso Shots Live.
Tune in every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. for your digital caffeine.
Espresso Shots Live podcast is not and should not be viewed as a news source. While I often discuss current events and cite sources that are both conventional and unconventional, once again, the views expressed on this show are that of one man, myself, and the guests that join me. This show is primarily designed for entertainment. Enjoy.
I don't know that anybody's selling out. I think if anything, maybe they're buying in a little bit. Hey man, we might not be everyone's cup of tea, but somebody wants a good cup of tea.
Wise words by Mr. Ferguson. Yes, we may not be everybody's cup of tea, but we are one good cup of tea, or coffee in my case. Anyway, folks, that's it for tonight. Tune in next week. The flannel panel is going to be a riot. Guaranteed or your money back. Or a money back guarantee. I guarantee that you will not get your money back. But it should be worth a watch. I'm going to leave tonight, and I'm just going to play the final clip, and then I'm out of here. So peace, love, coffee. See everybody next week. Thanks for tuning back in, and look forward to having a few great weeks of new episodes to keep everyone entertained. Peace, love, coffee. There you go. Good night, folks.